From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Glad you're with us. It's Blake Groupie to get this one started, and off we go here in New Orleans. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on fourth down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now a play fake here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
In motion right, Olave. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down and 3. Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They go play action here on 1st down. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the 1st quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball out to punt for New Orleans. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
To the air goes Daniels. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards for number 11.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
To throw is Daniels.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great play there. 27 yards.
And the Commanders go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Kamara. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. He'll take this to the 46.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 7.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Open man is Noah Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 37. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Here's 2nd and 3. They go play action. Daniels. He's into space past the 25. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now he'll try to run with this.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's Demario Davis navigating his way into the backfield for a tackle for loss.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
As they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation.
Give to Robinson on the option.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ertz over the middle. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Saints again ready to go on offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
They begin on the ground with Kamara.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll set up a throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Out of the gun now on third down.
And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So on fourth down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5. Here's Daniels. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Daniels looking to throw.
And this is going to be incomplete. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Here's Matthew Hayball now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They start on the ground with Robinson here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Now Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
So following the hold in 20. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No surprise there, Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Escapes the sack. Now he steps away. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
He completes it to Olave.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
Working the middle here, that's complete to Moreau, the tight end.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and 2. They'll get this out to Kamara.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Over the middle and complete to Shaheed.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Kamara, now a toss. Kamara left side. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Well, I don't even have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. The Washington offense back out there.
They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half.
2nd down and 6 now. To the air goes Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
15 yards the pickup. 1st down, Washington.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
It returns it right back to Samuel. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
To throw is Daniels. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
One final possession for the Commanders in this opening half. 1 second, all that remains.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
2nd and 7.
They run it again with Kamara.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. In motion left goes a tight end. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That is caught and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep and you catch him close to the spot.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal.
From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin the drive with Robinson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here's Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now Daniels. He's got Brown on the out route complete.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Daniels looking to throw.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
To the sideline and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The New Orleans offense set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. Maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he's brought down. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And this is what it's been like all game long. Guys running free in the middle of the field. This defense has just had no answer for this passing game. And that's another good hookup there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. A 9-yard pickup, just 1 yard away from 3 consecutive first down plays. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. Option play, here's Robinson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 55 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Play action, now it's Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Daniels. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Deebo Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Gets this complete to Shaheed.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
That'll be taken in by Shaheed.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Second and 10. Olave motioning to the left.
Back to throw again.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Where they were on the field, kind of no man's land. Do you like the call?
I love the call. Almost had to go for it there, right? Because of what you just described. Too far for the field goal, too short for the punt. You might punt in the end zone and just give them good field position anyway. Let's go for it. Plus, they were moving the ball. They had confidence that they could pick up this last bit of real estate.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Foster Moreau,
25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Saints are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Blake Groupie now for the extra point.
And that'll cut the lead back now to 21.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And he stopped immediately there. Taken down by Pete Werner. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And out of bounds right around the 20.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 68 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. That's Samuel, caught left side. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To throw is Daniels. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. But defensively, didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about coming out of college. You're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back to throw now on first down. And it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a 2nd and 10.
He'll drop to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll look to throw again. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
Down the sideline he goes.
And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. And even 40 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Robinson with another carry.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
3rd and 8. To the air goes Daniels. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew this is a tough place to play, overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win, and here's the best part for them. It'll be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't they?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there, but think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire